Alrighty, well, it's 9:15, and you see the soon sign, which means we're starting soon. Oh, I didn't type that right. It's hashtag, everyone. It's at everyone. Letting everybody know we're live, we're cooking, we're going. So, hello everybody. It's just me. It's the Oops All Omega. In case you couldn't tell from the old school shoddy edit we got. Hi, how you doing? Hope a few people are willing to file in. Let me close this up because we don't need no more. I'll show you the screen. The screen is the show notes. That's how we're working. We're a little pressed here. But hi gang. Hello. Hopefully a few more people shuffle in as usual as we'll run through some basic stuff. But yes, the unfortunate time of the year has come when we need to do a one-man show. Happens every once in a while. Lucky will take the reins. I will take the reins. It happens out there. This is sort of, kind of, Let's Talk FGO. But I won't say on this week's thing. Yes, we'll get to that. That's actually where we are right now. So, hey. Yes, one-man show business. So, yesterday, Lucky tells me he's not doing great. He feels very unwell. He was not sleeping and did not feel good. That's why there was no mailbag and stuff yesterday. I let patrons know as well. But, yeah. Today, Lucky is saying that I don't know if he's feeling fine, but he's feeling better. He doesn't feel as bad today. But he woke up way later, I think, to make up for all the sleeping that he didn't do. So I mentioned this to him, and he's like, yeah, no, I'm still, like, catching up on all my stuff because I super slept, so I'm overwhelmed right now. And I'm like, okay, all right, I will run a one-man show because I would say we could go for a skip week, but there's a problem with this, which is Ordeal Call 3 has a pretty tight release schedule that's going to run over like 3 weeks for it to run out. So by the time we would get to next week's recording, the next drop of the middle section of Ordeal Call 3 would have already happened, and we made a conscious choice. Like, I spelled out all the first chunk of the pregame, and Lucky listened to that and went, yes. We should do the next bit on the next show. And I'm like, yes, I agree. I wrote it this way. That we could do that if we felt like it, and we felt like it. Well, now we are reaping what we sowed, which is that it'll be behind the times if we don't get it out to you. And I gotta admit, gang, I'm not at 100p either myself, but we're gonna be trying. So we're gonna cover some basic FGO news, catch you up on some stuff, show you some things, talk about some stuff, and then I'll probably hang out a little and see if chat wants to have any discussion points or questions, obviously, because we don't got a mailbag. Lucky did not write a new intro or anything. That blue text, I can't perceive it. He'll talk about that next week. But, actually, where did I put the water? Hold on a second, chat. I need to make sure I'm still drinking water. Because, like I said, I'm not doing as bad as Lucky was doing yesterday, but I have not been 100% myself today. It's been hot, and also my stomach has been hurty. But we're going to continuing on, like I said, because there's a few things to keep you guys apprised of before the upcoming week segment. So, before I go anywhere, it is a brand new month, I would like to remind you that this sort of thing is made possible by our patrons, which includes Adam DeHart, Black SOG, Call Me Zed, Carlos Dragon, JDV9000, Rise of Kenji, Rogue Robin, and Sharvor. When we record the show live every week, you get to listen in if you're one of our higher-level patrons. I'm not doing an audio recording for this because it's weird. But normally patrons get the audio version of the podcast and stuff like that. There'll be no Fanservant Friday this week as well. Like I said, I was not feeling my greatest, so I did not activate my full prep time. But patrons get to vote in the Fanservant Friday poll and stuff like that. Also, I don't know if you've noticed, chat, It's not Friday. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't have the Dudukaka butt parasite, because you got to eat certain contaminated lettuce to do that. But certainly there are a lot of things, going on. And also, I mean, not to make too fine a point of it, just Omega things, but we had a little bit of a time after soaping out the air fryer. Had a hell of a time getting the soap out of it. So earlier this week, I may have accidentally ingested some fried soap. I know, wild. That's not good for you. Don't do that if you can help it. Anyway, so that was a reminder about our beautiful Patreon. I will also remind all of you, obviously since Lucky is not feeling well here, make sure to, throw some love out in the chat. Feel free to leave some comments with well wishes in the VOD. Maybe I'll remind you again when we're done. We're out of here. Leave comments on the Discord. I know that Lucky does appreciate it when you even if you only take a few seconds out of your day to think fondly and wish him well. I know he does appreciate that. I appreciate it too, but obviously I'm here. I'm talking to you. You can wish me well too. I don't need it. I don't know. Let's not worry about it. Like I said, blue text, I can't perceive it. Anyway, let us fire down the line. I do have some beautiful bed music playing as well, as we do with live episodes. Honestly, the reason why I wouldn't include bed music in the podcast is because I don't know if I can set that loop up for like 5 hours or whatever, even 3 hours. It's easy to do for like shorts now, and for one and even, that's at best I gotta figure out like 30 minutes of music. 3 hours? Tough. Anyway, we're gonna check in with everybody's favorite Kohai Mash real quick, because I do actually have some pro tips for you this week as we move through this unusual Oops All Omega episode.
Senpai, 起きてください.
Because hopefully I don't sound too dry. I don't sound too dried out. Step number 1. Like I said, I got 3 of these for you. Number 1. I don't even have it in my proper skelograms for like the Ordeal Call 3 release, which I probably should have done, but it is what it is. Step number 1. Hey, you can spend storm pods on normal quests now. Woo! Yes. I don't remember if that was supposed to come out with Ordeal Call 3 or not, but it came out with the Ordeal Call 3 Archetype Inception release. So, yes, if you're doing normal quests, barring certain like challenge quest stuff and like Olga Mary fights, you can spend storm pods on normal quests now. You don't get like the full rewards you would get from a Bleached Earth quest, but you do get a small amount of Starlight Dust of Starlight when you do it, so that can be a good way to keep up your resources and kind of keep chipping away at those as you work, which is nice. Okay, that's chat confirming we did indeed get it early. Nice. Love when that happens. Kind of funny that it didn't happen with Anniversary, but I think Ordeal Call 3 is a good spot for it. Second, it is August 1st, so you can activate your logging in of things and getting of stuff. So that means we have new items, new exchange items. The August exchange items are giant rings, seashells, homunculi, Remnants of Madness, and poison needles. All of those are very good. Remnants, obviously, are an Ordeal Call 1 mat, so like that's pretty good to get those out of the way. But also, seashells are important. There's many of them. But also, my final alert is, don't do real money trading, chat. If you're watching this right now, don't do that. Don't buy or sell your account. It's entirely likely that they will catch your ass doing it, and you should be careful. Why did I think to put this in the pro tip section right at the front of the episode? Well, when I logged into FGO News to check on the whatchamacallit, right, the weekly items and stuff like that, I saw a news article which was actions taken against accounts for illegal actions. So I was like, oh yeah, no, they will ban your ass, and they will post about it on the public board. I don't think about that a lot with FGO, but that happens all the time. That's one of our major sources of posts in our Final Fantasy XIV hook, is just listing all the accounts banned for real money trading actions. So, Chetino, don't do that. Don't do it. It's never good. Now, next step. Like I said, this blue text, can't read it. I'll scroll even. So, we got me. Actually, is that where's the frame on that? Yeah, actually, we're gonna scroll down a little bit. There we go. That should be in frame. Yes, it's in frame. Huzzah. Hey, so it's me. So I had like 3 rolls, 90 Saint Quartz saved up when the story dropped. Since then, I've made finishing it about 30 more Saint Quartz. So far, nothing. I do have now a complete CE collection. I did get one of everything, but almost all of them were basically min rolls. Like, even the one where I got a 5-star CE was just one 5-star CE and nothing else gold. So, it's a little rough out there, chat. It's a little rough. But, since you mentioned 5 tickets, I have purchased 5 lovely tickets, and while I do not have my screen capturing on my phone device, we're going to spend 5 tickets on the banner right now, and we're going to see what happens. Rolling live always means something funny. So, 5 BBs incoming. Chat, it's instantly gold sparks. Instantly gold sparks, chat. Motherfucker. Oh, okay. It wasn't Moon Cancer, but it was Tenochtitlan, all right? Nobody has to die today. That's good. Sick. Yeah, no, we can keep on taking passes, but we did get one. We got one. Don't you say, of course you'd show up. Well, hey, I guess we know what we're doing. Sorry, I was worried it was going to be BB. No, it's Tenochtitlan. Yes, it could be Jineko. So yeah, I'll spend the other 4 tickets, but yeah, it was Tenno right off the rip, which is nice. I told you, interesting things happen when you roll live on stream, even if it's not literally live. But I'll spend the remaining tickets real quick. Ooh, that's terrible. Getting 2 Jineko spooks. Yeah, she is the permanent Moon Cancer. Is she the only Permanente Moon Cancer? She might be. Moon Cancers are a weird one. Well, you know, you'll see that I get to talk about Tenochtitlan later. All right, last ticket. Nothing else, by the way. I got like 3 copies of the Souk so far, so 5th and final ticket. It is a servant. It's a rider. It was Medusa. Okay. All right. Oh, cool. So, hey, that means I got to go to Enhance, and I got to work on Tenochtitlan's smile right now. But that's cool. That's great to see, yeah. So we turned it around. We got a Tenochtitlan. That's great. Yay. So, next up on my agenda, another thing that is time-limited, a timely manner, did you finish your Master Missions? This is your last call live to remind you to finish your Master Missions, because they will be swapping over soon. You need to perform 30 FP summons, defeat 3 chaotic servants, defeat 3 good servants, defeat 3 balanced servants, then 20 enemies, then 40 enemies. I believe that doesn't count. Actually, no, I think that counts everybody. So, you will clear all of these just like I did by doing Ordeal Call 3, but depending on where you were when you did stuff, you know, you might want to consider it out there. What's my EXP stocks like? Oh, we've got a few. Let's go. Let's start feeding this city delicious snacks. Delicious city snacks. But the remembering to do your 30 FP pulls is probably important. Probably good to remember. Here, let me highlight it for you. But we're gonna move to Skelograms then from there. So let me pull up the FGO granddaughter website while we're chilling, while we're kicking it in the schoolyard. And I will double-check the news for anything crazy. But I think the Ordeal Call 3 release is pretty normal. They did say that they have completed all aspects of the servant coin refunding. Everything going on there has gone on pretty well. So let's see. Oh, I will remind you also, if I did put out a short about Ordeal Call 3 releasing. It's not doing like crazy numbers, but it's out there. YouTube did actually let me set a manual thumbnail for once right in the Studio app, which is nice. Previously, you couldn't do that. But if you were curious about some of the stuff I had as graphics for that, those are the special phone wallpapers from the special site. You can get those off fate-go-.us. Don't you just love to see it? But let me see. So, yes. To remind everybody, the release schedule is Part 1 dropped the 29th. Part 2 will drop the 4th of August. That will start right away at midnight. And Part 3 will drop the 12th. Remember, if you are not already in Ordeal Call 3, you have to clear the summer event and do the Ordeal Call prologue to qualify for Ordeal Call 3. You got that? All of these will be available until the 30th of September, 9:30. I talk about all this in the short if you want to review it. But then remember, this will be back as a main interlude later, but it will not be until next year. Also, if you're curious about that, you have until the 1st of September to clear the summer event. So you need to do that part first if you haven't. All right, there's the CM, which you could view. There's the banner, as predicted. There's the 2 new mats. Once you clear all the main quests in Ordeal Call 3 in total, there'll be new Bleached Earth quests. There's the Storm Pod update. And yes, the banner is Bibi Dubai, Moon Cancer, with her 2 noble phantasms. Tenochtitlan, a.k.a. Tenochtitlan Bunny, who I am ascending literally as we speak. And Mysterious Heroine Double X Altar. We'll talk more about them later. But you can get all 6 craft essences in this pull as well. So how's that for your news? Yeah, Seal... Seal was mean, from what I understand. I heard several people posting about hitting pity with Seal. I didn't go super ham on those banners. Yes, you only get the welfare, quote-unquote, which you could argue is the summer welfare. But you only get them when we clear the whole of OC3. You get to pick at the very end. I did mention that in the pregame last week. Check out last week's proper episode for all that stuff and more. But yeah. But that is all the EN news. Yeah, like I said, I heard a couple horror stories about Seal. Kind of to be expected, actually, though. The Seal... It's funny, right? You're talking about Seal doing pain, a lot of other stuff. I think there was a little bit more interest in the Seal banner. Obviously, I got a Jufu out of it, so I'm doing fine. With what we got. But that Wanted did pretty good. If you have not checked it out, be sure to hit up the BB Dubai Wanted, which came out. It's got some wonderful video edits, got some great music, etc. I mean, they're not quite they are welfares, but they're not like normal welfares. Like, we're gonna get more options in like the FP Gacha, so maybe they could do a costume later. We'll see. Like, they could always add something to that as well. But if you haven't, check out the BB Dubai Wanted. We break down all the stuff there. It's a great time. I even added a little bonus Dubai history in there because I wanted to extend the video length for ad rev and also throw in a little bit of real life history. So far in the first 9 sections of the story, the first 10-ish chapters, they didn't really explain like why Moon Dubai is Dubai. So we did a little history, super short history. But that means it's time to talk about JP stuff. Yes, actually, FGO Fez is going on right now. As was mentioned... what's the word I'm looking for? Sorry, as was mentioned in chat just now. That's the word I'm looking for. Sorry, like I said, I'm also a little goobus today. A little goobus Lorenzo. But yeah, FGO Fez is ongoing right now. But they did a couple of fun things on the first day. This is your official reminder that the big big anniversary stream is tonight. I think it'll be at like 3 or 4 a.m. Eastern time. So keep your eyes and ears peeled for that. That'll be, you know, all of our biggest and bestest cool shit. But there was a few things out there already. One was talking about like what the most granted servants were. I think I retweeted that. Let me see if I can find that tweet. Here we go. All right. Hey, we're gonna actually do some fucking streaming shit. But I can't. Probably cannot paste an image directly from there, so I wish I could just actually wait. Hold on, am I being stupid? Can I literally just drag and drop? Hold on. No, it didn't work. Did not have the intended effect. Alright. In that case, let me save this tiny image as. And throw this up on my desktop real quick. We'll be using this technology later. No, there we go. I dragged the PNG in. But yeah, so these are the most graded so far by class. And they have several drop-down images that kind of break this all up so you can see yourself what's going on. But yeah, the seal is one of the extras that's most... the caster is actually Ash, not Castoria. You can tell by the different bow and the armor. But you've got regular Saber, Gilgamesh, Melusine, Osmandio, our new maidservant who's upcoming. Bazakaz is the one who takes that slot, so you don't have to do the other Castoria stuff. And Madame Prez. So that's pretty interesting. But yes. Yeah. That, honestly, she's like the newest servant. I mean, not literally. Is she the newest? Was her event... I think her event was after the anniversary with... Yeah, I think she's newer. She is the newest. She's even newer than Madame Prez. But Madame Prez is also cheating. But yeah, that's a very striking one. People... Was before Grand Assassin Duel, yeah. So people really liked her. Maybe she was just a really good fit for what they were doing in Grand Duel Assassin? Yes, Oz is probably because there are not that many universally accessible single target riders, probably I would say your other popular pull would probably be Quetzalcoatl in this, but she's story locked, so like that's can be even more rare than limiteds. Like you can only get those from very specific banner rate ups, but also can't usually get them in GSSRs. Yes, Tenochtitlan, you may eat this, Steno. Yeah, I don't know much about the Grand Duels yet myself. But yeah, very interesting things to see in this collection. But let me remove this from the Shikima source. Yes, I want to remove the untitled PNG because we're going to grab the next one, which is, first of all, actually, can I do this like a slightly bigger grab? Might be a little too big of a grab. Hold on, let me go like 80%. Nah. But we did get plenty of summer intel as well. You can see some of that stuff. The first image I'm going to show you, I forgot to put it in my JP Summer preview notes. But we have first males. So we've confirmed what the male costumes are this year. Also, no chat, your ears didn't deceive you. I did just bring up that, yeah, I did just feed that extra steno to Tenochtitlan. Rabbit consume. But yeah, these are our three costumes. First of all, Bedivere, finally, super cool. Hassan of Shining Star is pretty cool as well. Speaking of making jokes about GX. Because his voice actor is Ken. I'm not as surprised, though. Like, he seems to be pretty popular for having come relatively new. Another one I'm very surprised about, but pleasantly so, is that's Dantes as the 5-star. So first of all, we've got a full banner spread. The male banner will be, Bedivere in 3-star slot, Dante in 5-star, Shining Star in 4-star. Yes, all of our Knights of the Round have their summer fits now, which is very nice, between costumes and swimsuit variants. And soon all of our Fairy Knights will as well. Spoilers for later. Oh, sorry, I tried to do a funny Mr. Evil pinky thing and smacked my own mic. Anyway, Dante Alighieri is not that shocking to me, but it is cool to see him. It is a little gap in my way. But he's kind of a goofy little guy. Like, not all the time, but he is kind of an overly serious guy out there. But I'm sure he is popular within certain sections of the fan base. He seems like a neat dude. I guess we'll have to see how I do on Dante to see if I can have a year where I actually score this out. Well, we'll have to see what happens because we got a Wad Arco servant this year. But let me go back to my Twitter. All right, okay. Here's the important one. This is the silhouette version. So, we also have our esteemed image for what the summer units will be so far. So I will remove the males block. Drop this in. Look at, you can... Oh, hold on. Not save. Grab the same image. Oh, okay. I changed it, and it changed. Live. Powerful. All right. Let me size this up again. But, so, our confirmed units are 4-star Habetrot, and I do believe the stream said that she is the welfare. So that's all of our Fairy Knights. And then we're back to 3 5-stars again. It's one of those years. So one of your 5 stars will be Summer Lilith with a rocket board, it looks like. Summer King Protea, loving the fit with the eye patch. You know, and all that stuff going on. And yes, indeed, the rerun with the Summer etc. note was a premonition. So yes, we are getting Summer Benny Enma. Neat. Yay. Ho ho. But I picked this image specifically for the silhouette version because yes, they've shown the silhouettes. I believe it seems like we're going to get a proper stream with info later. I would say 8/6. So you've only got to wait like a week before we get full intel here. But yes, people have been picking apart the silhouettes, and these are going to be the 4 stars. She doesn't have the tail, but the one between Protea and Lilith, everybody seems pretty fair in saying that's Bishone, and I think that is a decent match, based on what we're looking at. Like that seems like a good fit. She seems decently popular, and she's got going on there. As noted, we do have a very oddball one on the far left. Some people are saying this might be a duo because it looks like there might be 2 sets of hair going out there or something, or 2 sets of feet. There's something that looks like a chicken leg, so it could be Lohi, but it's also got a line. You probably can't see too well on the stream version, but if you blew this up like on Twitter when I retweeted it and stuff, actually, yeah, you can see the line a little bit there. But that looks like a bowstring, maybe. So, like, with the extra hair, it could be like a Summer Atalante, maybe? Or some other archer thing going on. It could also be like a weird spear thing. I've heard some people joking about Lancer Altar Summer, like on chickenback, riding one of the mighty Luluaha chickens that's in Tristan's art. So that I can understand. Personally, the one that I feel most like the far left silhouette is so crazy that I can't fucking tell, right, gang? I'm just like, I don't fucking know. I don't know, man. How the hell would I figure that out, right? Like, if that's actually a chicken foot, that's Lohi. Like, Lohi's the only unit I can think of that has a chicken foot, and she is pretty popular. But it might not be a chicken foot because FGO is confusing. And I think you can kind of see the footsteps down there as well. But the one that I think is probably most interesting is the middle one. So this silhouette is pretty refined, got super long hair, but there's some big-ass bows. And then we've got a weird hat. We've got a hat that's shaped like a cat. And that bow could also be ears up here. So that's one that I'm like, yeah, I don't actually know. I don't know, gang. So, I'm thinking Komachi. Okay, yeah. Komachi is another one I've been hearing about a little bit. Yeah, normal feet and chicken feet. During Summer 4 stars, yeah. So it looks like there's probably is a duo going on, and maybe it is the double Koyan concealed. Because that's the thing I was gonna say, like, that looks like a cat on their head, so this could be Tamamo Cat with the ribbon and the ears. It could be Koyanskaya's ribbon with a weird hat, because you know Koyan loves weird hats. And with a Benny 5-star, and it's small Benny too. It's not like Benny Alter. That would be the perfect time for Koyanskaya to show up. But also, like, I'm truly not sure. We do already have King Protea, so like maybe that would be, you know, a lot on the artist to draw 2 designs for that. But yeah, it's very interesting. So like, I could see, you know, people saying like Komachi, people saying like Bakken. That one is like truly, I don't know. I'm gonna be myself on the Lancer Altar Cope It's literally in my notes for later. But, like, there do seem to be multiple sets of feet, so I don't know. But, like, the middle one is the one I'm just like, that's a very interesting silhouette. I don't know what they mean by that. But that is absolutely... She's got a tiny cat on her head. Like, either as a straight-up cat or as, like, a hat. Does Phantasmoon have a bow? Because, like, I have to admit, that was my first thought. It was people on our Discord. Discord link should be in the description, by the way, if you're not in our Discord. Get in our Discord. But, like, my first thought upon seeing a tiny cat and realizing it is a tiny cat, right, is like, oh, is that a Neko arc on somebody's head? Is that like a Phantasmoon or another one? Well, in her second ascension, she's got cat ears, but it doesn't quite look like the bow. I mean, she has bows, but they're small. I think Archetype Earth has a big bow. So, like, that's another one where I'm like, this one I'm not sure about, because there's a couple of different tells there. I'd like to say it is Summer Koyanskaya. Maybe both Summer Koyanskayas obscured, hiding behind Benny Enma, and one of them's got a cat on their head. But that's interesting. I don't know what that is. But like I said, I believe we'll be getting more news the 6th, it seems like. And this event is going to start in the middle of Augustus Gloop. And will just require Fuyuki cleared, as usual. Man, I don't know, man. We're getting weird and wild. And like I said, reminder, the full anniversary stream is going to happen tonight. Somebody said earlier it's probably like 4 or 5 hours from now, technically. That said, they're going to recap a lot, so keep your eyes peeled for that. They might even talk about the final chapter, so be wary of spoilers if you're not caught up on JP stuff. But we'll be tuning in, and I'm sure we will be in the Discord yelling about stuff going on. So, I don't know if I feel like being in a live call on the Discord, but, you know, we'll see what happens. Okay, but that is our newslet, so we will remove these. Get your speculation in now. It's your final call. You know, leave a comment, fire in the chat right now. Be in our Discord to hear live. But it's your final call to figure out who the anniversary servant is. I think it's like everybody's like it's got to be Azrael, it's got to be Kamizatsu, or it's got to be Abedo Seimei. Why is Abedo Seimei always the third place pick? I don't fucking know. It will be him one of these years, but, like, I don't know, man. It doesn't feel right. Yeah, some of you may be asleep. But that means that we will continue down our line of having a fun time with fun comments. So, let me see, make sure we're all framed up. All right. First... Sorry, I don't know why I said it like that. Chadley. Firston. Well, actually, Firston, before we even talk about her. Hey, let me finish this off right now. I just bought the monthly EXPs. Let's go ahead and fire that up. What am I firing up, chat? Oh, right. Actually, that's a good point. We did get the Mystic Code. Let me... did somebody post what that does in the JP channel? Probably, but it's all in summer stuff. But yes, as you would expect from the fact that the theme of this year's anniversary is, whatchamacallit, Chaldea Academy. Which, by the way, they showed some very interesting... There might be some tie-in stuff. They showed some interesting expression sprites for Morgan, for instance, in uniform and stuff. But we did get a Chaldea school uniform, which is very fun because, you know, after years and years of stealing other people's school uniforms, we finally do have a uniform all our own. All right, I don't see it first off, so we're gonna. We're gonna hunt for a reliable source. Anyway, while I hunted for that reliable source also, that's level 80 on Tenochtitlan. We'll work on our skills later. But yeah, let's talk about the Mystic Code. Yeah, it's all the Grands. As usual, by the way, I'm double-checking because they are very good at live tweeting this. I'm checking Cars at Kadoshi Muriad's Twitter right now. Because they do a phenomenal job. Live tweeting about a lot of stuff, but FGO especially. Let's see. A lot of merch announcements. They're busy scrolling through. I'm not seeing it. Let me... feel like... Can I trust a Twitter search? Hopefully, because I did fucking... I saw it earlier. Anyway, the Chaldea Academy uniform has, let's see, party arts performance 1 turn, party NP damage 1 turn. 1 turn evasion and removes a dot, an ailment debuff, I think is what they call it, and then, ooh, restore HP, charge NP gauge, critical damage. Okay, that's a good Mystic Code, gang. That's a good one. But yeah, instead of stealing other people's uniforms, we finally have our own. Isn't that neat? But let's talk about, so you didn't get that 5-star, about the new banner servants, because, well, some of you rolled some 4 stars. Hey, I got lucky. I have to do like a live edit because my punchline doesn't work anymore. So we're gonna recap though the gang. Number 1. So you didn't get that 5-star. First, Tenochtitlan Bunny, aka Tenochtitlan Summer. No Chalalak, no Huitzli Pochli. She's here. She's vibing. But she's a Moon Cancer. She is an SR now also, or still, but she's one of the 4 stars on the banner. Based on some other Moon Cancer, she's got slightly higher attack than HP spread. QQAA. Sorry, 1A. Bubba. 2 quick, 1 arts, 2 buster. Oh, God. Sorry, I'm my other ailments are going down as we do the show, but like my throat's getting real dried out. It's hot, gang. Might have to take a brief water break soon. But, yes. 2 quick, 1 arts, 2 buster. Average hit counts, I think it's 4 all around. And then, thus, above average NP gain. Not super high, but not super low. It's like 0.5 something. Yeah, get the extra record uniform as well. Well, if they actually release extra record anytime soon, we'll cover that. For her Noble Phantasm, it's pretty good. It's quick AoE. It ignores Invincible for 1 turn first. It does bonus damage to super large enemies, and also gives a 20% defense down for 3 turns. So it's meant to be looped a little bit. It's like 6 or 7 hits, I want to say. The OC, that is overcharge effect, is just NP damage up first. First skill gives 20% NP to the party, gives the whole party 500 to 1,000 HP per turn, and then also 10 to 20% attack up. So it's kind of a charisma, though it does a lot of other stuff. But it does have a effect to give the enemy attack up for 3 turns, 10%. So, you know, where everybody's getting juiced. Second skill, though, is a taunt for 3 turns. A 3-turn taunt, 500% chance to give target up, is a 30 to 50% defense up for those 3 turns. And then on hit, you get a 10% NP damage buff for 3 turns. So for 3 turns, you have an on-hit buff, basically the whole time you're taunted. If you're hit, you will get a 10% NP damage up, which lasts 3 turns, which means by the time that ends, you could have, like, 6 or 9 stacks of that, you know, depending on how many times the enemy's attacking and stuff, if you don't die. But you do have 50% defense up, and if you're playing a Moon Cancer, you're probably getting neutral damage. You're probably not sending her out against, rulers, you know? Oh, only quick Moon Cancer so far, period. Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, if you're taking her against rulers, what's your problem, man? You've completely goofed it. This is why every time extra classes are involved, I routinely check I routinely check the class chart. So, very important. Next, third skill. Somebody in chat already mentioned it, but there's a couple of different things this does. So, 20-30% Quicken Buster up on self for 3 turns, 1 full turn of Evade. If you are a Bunny Servant, which is a pretty diverse list, you get 20-30% crit up and -1 turn skill cooldown. That will affect herself, but only if she's in her Bunny Ascension. And Bunny Servant is a really weird trait because it is usually Ascension locked. I don't think there are a lot of servants who are Bunny all the time. It's mainly just in certain Ascensions. So I will grab you the list, chat, so you know. Because it's a weird one. It's a weird one, gang. But let's go to touch on Moon Cancer, because I think she's one of the first ones to reference it. There will be more, obviously, later, but yeah, so let's see. Okay, so if you do the costume, Saber Shiki is all the time in any of her costumes. Astolfo's Saber is Bunny all the time, but and Bonnie and Mary Reed, both Summer and Not Summer, are only Bunny in the appropriate Ascension. Cock's only Bunny in the costume. Astolfo's Bunny in costume 1. There's that Paul Bunyan costume. Okay, interesting. I guess because she can quick change into it for skill animations, Alco is technically a Bunny all the time. There's going to be Summer Ryogi Shiki, a.k.a. Moon Rabbit, coming up. Let's see, Super Bunyan in Ascension 3. Koyan of Light is all the time. And Berserker Castoria is also only some of the time. And BB Dubai, by the way, actually. That's a good wombo combo because BB Dubai has some Moon Cancer-related buffs. So you can wombo combo them, but only in 3rd Ascension. Golden BB, who you can only access, by the way, by clearing the Ordeal Call, so... Yeah. Skak and her costume accounts. Like, some costumes work all the time. Some units are spiritually there, but yes, I think Alco counts because, in all her Ascensions, because one of her animations could be to do her bunny thing. Sorry, it's me clearing my dry-ass throat again. Now, we've also got some passives. She has Territory Creation EX, so her 1 arts card is Real Goo. It's a real good card. We also have Divinity E- for just a little bit of damage plus. She has a 20% crit up on water fields only. Also, in general, she has a really fun passive where she just gets 5% up on her quick arts and crits cards the whole time. And then also the whole team gets 200 damage cut. So that's pretty fun. I put in my notes here. You could have read it a while ago. Moon Cancer farmers are weird. Like, I think I made this joke in the BB Wanted. Like, unless you're farming id free quests, running into Avengers in farming nodes where you're like fighting a lot of them is rare. But you can use it. She's got some interesting trait hits. You know, she does bonus damage to super large, obviously, which can be worth it. She has patented anti-asshole technology. Every time you fire NP, you get Pierce Invul for the whole turn. So that's pretty good. So, like, keep that in mind. And she has good offenses and good defenses, right? Like, she's got that damage cut. She's got that 50% damage up. She's got a 1-turn evade on her 3rd skill. Like, there's good stuff there for picking some boss fight picks, maybe. Interesting team comps with the bunny stuff. Cool unit. And you saw earlier that I did delete it, but I wrote in my notes here, this was originally a Dinkelberg joke. Or not a Dinkelberg. Here's where I put my trophy. I was like, if I had one! But I do have one now. Yay! Thanks, stream. Your powerful streamology energy has given me juice. Yeah, Jinako is like a hell of a tank. And, Golden BB can also do some crazy defensive hits. So it's real interesting. Sorry, the widescreen version of my... There we go. It's like paused for some reason. The widescreen version of my stream preview went down for a second. Just remember to wish Lucky Luck as well later. But let's talk about the other person on this banner. EX is here, reminding you that, once again, calling my shot for later, only Lancer Alter. Lalter does not have a summer alt now. I'm pretty sure every Artoria does. Not every Artoria face, obviously, but every Artoria does. She is an SR foreigner, and to directly compare her with regular Double X, she's slightly lower attack, higher HP. She's got an interesting role, also being kind of a tanker, but her stats aren't that far from Double X's. She is, however, keeping to her Berserker roots. She's still a gorilla. She has quick arts, buster, 3 buster cards. Average hits, again, 4 all around, and higher NP gain as a result. She's like 0.65 or 0.66. Sorry, I hiccuped silently to myself there for a second. God. I'm falling apart here, gang. Anyway, her NP is single target buster. She gets 30% extra damage versus lawful and good for the turn first. These are 2 separate buffs, so lawful good will get both of these. Also, it deals bonus damage to rulers. It's the 200% bonus damage. So basically, the way I think this works out mathematically is it's effectively like you're adding an extra NP level multiplier. So like you can do big bonking damage. And then also it gives her a 20% NP refund. Overcharge effect is also NP damage up first. Wow, who could have seen that coming? It's almost like it's a really good and common NP effect. That's true. Saber Lily doesn't, technically. That is a true blue. Unfortunately, as kind of our weird welcoming unit, Saber Lily is a little off forgotten. Thankfully, she's in the FP Gacha now, at least. Anyway, yeah, no. Double X has a pretty strong... She's got, like, fucking 3 bonuses. By the way, I want to say, like, something like 80 or 90% of all rulers are lawful good. Like, the ones that aren't are usually, like, summers or weird alts. Normally, they are lawful good, so that's a lot of damage. Her first skill is a 2 hits, 3 turns invul, 10 to 20% attack up for self for 3 turns, and 5 to 15 stars now, 5 to 15 stars per turn later, aka per every turn for 3 turns. Second skill gives her the normal 20-30% Buster up for 3. It's also 3 turns of Absorb on Buster and 20-30% crit up for 3 turns. So that's everything you need to engineer a crit package. Well, luckily those are moon canters at least, so you won't. It's not like you'll be quote unquote spooked. If you get a gold card in the FP gacha and it's not a moon cancer, you'll know it's either going to be. It has to be Habetrot or Saber Lily, right? They haven't added a third 4-star to the FP gacha before our senpais that I'm forgetting about. This, by the way, I want to say, this is a little bit of the energy that happens, consider supporting us on Patreon at the upper tiers to listen live. This is the energy that often happens if you listen to the podcast. I will say something and go, stroke my chin and hope that the patron chat will catch my ass before I fall off the cliff. Sometimes they don't know. Sometimes they turn to me and go, we don't know, boss. Yeah, this is this swift interaction. But, final skill. Final skill on double XA is -1 charge for enemies, 10 to 20% battery on self instantly, and then an additional 10% battery for each enemy on the field. Technically, I did some creative wording here, but basically the way it works is, I think the idea is you do -1 charge for everybody on every enemy. Double XA then gains 10% NP for each enemy on the field. Effectively, you're stealing 10% of their NP. And then also, it's a 10 to 20% battery nominally. Also, 20 to 30% NP gain on self for 3 turns. Passives are Existence Beyond the Domain D, so you get a little bit of crit and a little bit of star gen every turn. She still has Madness Enhancement C, so those 3 Buster cards slap pretty decently good. She has Magic Resistance B, and then a special Alt Reactor skill, which I wrote, by the way, Furtherer. It should just be Further. 20% debuff resistance. So Magic Resistance B is like 17%, I want to say. So she's like in the high 30s or low 40s of debuff resistance all the time. So Double X seems like a fun little boss killer. She's got a broad spread of special damage. She's a foreigner, but basically between her damage buffs and the special damage, her NP will get basically class advantage against rulers, which is really fun because you normally do neutral damage. This is kind of a quality that double X's or MHXs have, period. Like the Assassin version does bonus damage versus Sabers. I think you can do bonus damage versus Sabers with regular double X, but also she's got that trait damage to Threat Against Humanity for 50%. You can do some very fun stuff. She's got good defenses also, like that charge down and those 2 hits 3 turns invul is pretty cool. And also, I like her crit spread because with those 3 Buster cards, you're going to go really easy to get into an NP-BB turn with crits. So you can do some very funny farming stuff with that, and with the 3rd skill charge. You can use her on, half-boss waves and shit like that. Berserkers beware, rulers beware. Mixed Berserker ruler nodes, get fucked. Eat galactic shurikens. That's true, also, chat, mentioning you could get a black card. You could get a 0-star Avenger. True, real. That would never happen, right? But That's your so you didn't get that 5-star. Let us wrap up our scheduled programming. About an hour. That's decent. That's decent. With the pregame stuff. That means, yes, while both Lucky and I are caught up on the Ordeal Call 3 story, we won't be getting into that this week because, like I said, Lucky doesn't feel like recording just yet. He's still getting all his stees back together. He's finding all of his lost marbles. Sorry, I had a funny joke, but that might not make sense out of context. I was going to be like, leave a comment if you found one of Lucky's marbles. No, don't do that, actually. But we are working on our normal recaps, but, since Lucky's been down and out a little, he's been writing them. But we're on track for it later. We'll catch up to you for that. But we do want to do the pregame for the next bit because, like I said, that's coming out Wednesday. Like, Wednesday at Reset, I think. So it may technically be Thursday some places. Let me actually correct the calendar. The 4th is Tuesday. Yeah, so like it's midnight when it becomes Wednesday. It's still Tuesday day. For those of you like on the West Coast. So yeah, it's pretty soon. So we'll run it through. And as a reminder, I will remind everybody of the normal start of the pregame stats. There's going to be 22 total sections plus I think 4 interludes. They're spaced about a week apart. You will get 2 grails from this. All the other rewards you'd expect. 25 total Saint Quartz. A simple costume for Passion Lip. You'll get the Polar Star. You'll get the Moon Cancer, an extra one. And you'll get 1 copy of either the male or female Hakuno. With their additionals added to the FP Gacha. And you can unlock the other one later. I think the unlock quest is related to the Kazura Drop event. But I am genuinely not sure. You have until 9:30 to clear, which we talked about. There'll be free quests later. I talked previously about the mobs and stuff. We don't need to recap that. So, we stopped at their first intermission last time. Mobs and stuff. No, you should be looking for some big long shows when you catch up. But okay, the unlock quest is when the main answer. All right, so that'll be early next year. Seems fair, though. Seems fair. Also, yes. I mean, you're still decently close because you only need to to get into Ordeal Call 3. You don't actually have to do Ordeal Call 2. You just have to clear the summer event, Loth, which ends the 1st of September. You have exactly 1 month. Lothram. Sorry, I'm putting in my worry beads. I don't know how that sounds on the microphone. But yeah, you only need to clear the Ordeal Call prologue and then the summer event to take place. So, we're going to talk about the next sections. The middle drop is the shortest. It is from section 10 to 14, so only like 5 chapters. But you will get some more interludes in there. So we're now going to break it down. Those of you who want to do this stuff kind of like completely blind, feel free to check out now. Otherwise, I'd appreciate it if you stick around. So it's funny how, I will say this about the story, right? I was correct, like, looking at the way the notes were laid out. The first part doesn't really end with, like, an ending, like a climax, more of just, like, all right, let's take a break kind of a moment, you know. You have a moment to breathe, so the story pauses and then picks up. We will not continue breathing. So we are immediately not fucking around. Section 10, there's going to be a Moon Cancer boss who is for real. They have 1 million HP. and then 350k HP. When you start the battle, they will immediately charge their NP to 100%. They'll become immune to all debuffs, and specifically to NP drain for 1 turn, and they get a Break Guts for 5%, and then they fire their NP. Or if they fire their NP, which is AoE, by the way, they will remove it. They will remove their Break Guts effect. On bar 2, so after you get through 1 million HP, they will get a crit buff where if you hit them with a critical... Sorry. I'm fucking up my notes. On bar 2, they get a buff where if you hit them with a crit, their crit damage goes up. If you hit them with an NP, they will charge their NP and get NP damage buffs. But if you trigger these 5 times total, you will get healed for 5k, and then the boss will heal 100k and get stunned for 1 turn. So you have a pretty serious fight to chew through. So keep that in mind. And I wrote this in my notes, gang, but, like, I can't even tell you exactly what the fuck is happening in Section 11. So, you're gonna have to fight, like, 3 Surf Mo clones with, like, 35k HP, and then when they're defeated, they explode, and they do damage to you. I think they do damage to everybody, actually, but they explode. And that Avenger boss, the Avenger boss from earlier with the timed one, you may remember if you've done it, they're back with 540k HP. But if you defeat them first, it uses, and I quote, the translation from the wiki. I don't think it will be this in the English version, but it's there. They will use new type jamming to defuse the Mordreds. What the fuck does that mean? I don't know. Section 2 has some scuffles with ads, but in Pip 4, there's a big-ass id bird with 200k HP. There's a big rook. And in Section 13, you gotta face the big worm again. I'm real tired of these fucking big-ass worms, man. But they're a foreigner boss with 193 and 243k HP. You do get to pick both Lip and Hakuno for this. The enemy will seal your quick cards for 1 turn, and every 3 turns either gives you some combination of poisoning you, siphoning HP, etc. On break bar number 1, it will gain anti-purge defense, but Hakuno will max out his NP instantly, which, if you use, will remove the anti-purge defense. The Hakunos are very interesting in that their NP defeats anti-purge defense, but doesn't beat evasion. It's one of those weird ones. So keep that in mind. Pip 2, once again, you can pick either Hakuno or Lip. Hakuno gets buffs. Lip will max her NP but gets stunned. There's a big Avenger bird with 300k HP and some ads. One of the ads has a thing where, like, if you hit it, it will drain your NP and give you a buff down. Pip 4, you got to fight double XA. She's got 120k HP. But when you break that bar, the 120k bar, she splits into 3 double XAs with 170k HP, and each of them gets a color buff. You only have to defeat the one that ends up with the Buster buff. The Buster buff. All right? Also, yes, I'm pretty sure it is meant to be, the new type jamming thing is meant to be a Gundam reference. I don't know why it does that. But yeah, so like I said, you gotta worry about only the double X clone who gets a Buster buff. In Pip 5 of Section 13, you must now use double XA to fight an alter ego boss who has 131, 203, and 241k HP. They have 12 stacks of max HP up and 5% NP resistance up, and have a one-time 100% guts. Every crit, they heal 1k HP and remove a stack. Every time you hit them with an NP, they remove 3 stacks and heal 3k HP. Each break bar, they will get more attack, but also will eventually go to ignore defense and pierce invul. So your cool double X buffs will be negated. I do believe, though, this boss is lawful good, if I'm remembering this correctly. Now, we get to section 14, on the other hand, our last section we're talking about. This feels like a finish. So, you got to square up against an enemy of a certain beast class with an extra-only NP. Remember, the certain beast is weak to Avengers, strong against all other extra classes, neutral on normal classes. In round 1, you have to take Summer Nikki as an ally with buffs. The beast gets a slight damage resistance, damage up versus human, and every other turn, you're blasted by meteors. 204, 246, 395k HP. Next phase is 395, 566, 382k HP. The beast will get a whole slew of buffs, and she gets more each time she hits an extra attack. So that's after every NP. And after one break bar, her normal attacks will also steal your NP. Cool. Her extra attacks will also cleanse debuff from herself and give you a one-time, a 1/1 buff null and heal herself. So yeah, there's a big-ass boss fight. And that's intermission 2. I put this in my notes. Now it's not really that relevant, but I actually took a break here in real life to go make dinner. But yeah, this shouldn't be super long. There are a couple of tough fights, front and back. Just remember that, like I said, the first boss is immune cancer, so take advantage of your rulers there. And the last boss is a beast who is weak to Avengers, so take advantage of your Avengers there. Use your benefits to yourself. And hopefully we can work through all this stuff. Yes, that is a very common joke that I heard a couple of places. And that should be your second drop. Like I said, hopefully be shorter than the first drop, but also is a little tougher. There are some bigger boss fights, but we'll work through and kind of hit the endo impacto. And that is your Ordeal Call update. Like I said, we're plugging away at the recaps. I took some of my own personal loose notes to work on for the other stuff. Sorry, that was me fighting a yawn. But that basically covers all the news desk stuff we wanted to get into. Oh, you think this has the hands, but then there's several big-ass fights later. Now, some people have noted this already, but the HP levels in this fight are not super crazy. Like, 1 million break bar can be pretty nasty, but yeah. There's some endurance and stall strats you're going to have to try out, I think. You're going to have to tank some things. But the interesting thing I want to say in general is the primary way this Ordeal Call seems to have kept its difficulty ratcheted is there's a decent amount of enemies with hard defenses, like those gosh darned worms and their invols. Fuck around with like anti-purge defense and stuff like that. Special damage resistances, other weird things. So like the HP values aren't super crazy, but the enemies do have a lot of defensive abilities which prevent you from just slam-a-jamming your favorite guy with like a K-scope and clocking out. You got to actually work a little bit. You got to prep your different CEs. Make sure to use your CE filters to find those that pierce invul all the time, for instance, or ignore defense and stuff. You can do some very funny tricks there. This one is similar. Like, there's a lot of resistances and weird stuff you got to go in, and we also got to, you can get your action in with those extra attack stuff going on, right? Like, there's some moves we can do, but we're gonna see what the big finale is, and hopefully we should run that pregame next week for y'all. Sorry, we're talking about some other stuff. No, yeah, the last bit of the Ordeal Call, I believe, has some juice. Luckily, you got your leyline stones for a little bit. But yes, I was gonna say, this is usually the part of the show when we do these little, like, I gotta do some stuff. Yeah, I haven't had to use any blue cubes yet. Some of that, though, was insistence. There was one fight where an NPC tells you, don't be afraid to use your command seals if you have to, and I was just like, how dare you? I can defeat this boss without command spelling. And so we did. We'll probably talk about that one later when it comes up. But yes, I was going to say, usually when we do these little live streamos, especially because we did not get a posted mailbag this week, this is the part where I open up where, hey, if you're still watching, you're still listening, you got any questions you want to ask, any discussion topics you want to throw out, go ahead and throw them out there real quick. And if the patrons don't got any, not the patrons, the listeners, you're watching live. I'm getting confused by this stuff. If you got anything you want to bring up, go ahead and like I said, fire it up now. Otherwise, we'll get on out of here and we'll just chill. I'll drink plenty of water and other fluids before the big stream, and we'll tune into that. Like I said, if anybody has any out there predictions they want to get out for the Anniversary Servant, any quality of life you'd really like to see, you know, feel free to discuss. Any other things going on you wanna yap about, feel free to hit us up. We'll also have our usual what's uppening to bring up as well, but there's a few things going on. I'm playing through some more stuff with Star Wars Outlaws that I definitely want to discuss with Lucky and see what he's got going on there. But I will also give you a small preview. Lucky said that Kingdom Come Deliverance pissed him off, so he's been playing Rise of the Ronin. Oh, also, we talked about it on the stream, which we did a different week because I almost got jury duty, but then they said no at the last minute. But we did do a 14 stream slightly out of focus, but check that out because I do some of the new stuff like Hildebrand and shit. It's a great time. But we talk a little bit about some of the stuff they showed off with the Fan Fest as well, so check out some of that. We'll see if we're clocking in back to Resident Evil Revelations on Monday. We'll see about setting that up. Let's see. Favorite? Demi Atma can bite him, yeah. Demi Materia too. Blah 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 blah. Talking about favorite ascensions. There's a few different ones. Like, some of them are all real cool. Like, you know, Double XA is pretty normal and all the fun stuff going on with like armor and whatnot. Honestly, BB Dubai's ascensions are very funny. I'll be interested to see, you know, where Golden BB comes into it. But they have some very funny, different vibes between the two of them. I do hope that she gets a costume, by the way, for her helmet off in BB Cosmo. You can see that a few times in the story, and that'd be nice to get a simple costume for that. Maybe this anniversary. But yeah, I think Tenno Bunny is pretty solid. No, Double XA's NP is real sick. Real slick. Real sick slick. No, yeah, Space Rush is real fun. I love her NP. It's pretty rad. What the fuck is my problem? Oh my god. Okay. It's cool you're playing in PS2 games. I do agree. Karn is also pretty sick. I did actually get to fire his NP. Son of a bitch. Sorry, chat. That's, is that a real live spider? It's a live spider. There's a spider under my desk, chat. Hold on. Okay, I had to take some extra blows because he was hiding under the wires. But unfortunately, I don't really know if the spiders here are dangerous or not. Unfortunately, there's a couple circumstances where we can't have spiders going around. These guys like to wander around on the floor, and when you're under my desk, like where I put my feet and I don't look, not good. You gotta go. So anyway, yeah. No, the costumes are pretty cool. Karna's is really, really slick. I will say I've been loving, because you use Bart so much in the OC3 story, I do find it very fun that he has a lot of, because he's got a phone in hand, he has a lot of fun interactions with, like, skills and stuff where he actually, like, is clearly pressing the phone and making sounds. You know? Very solid. Very solid. But, yeah, no, there's a lot of fun going on. I think all these are pretty good. And yes, to ratchet back to something in chat that I thought was also cool. Sorry, side chat. We're talking about stuff in tabletop, and Lucky just had that brain blast where whatchamacallit, like realized that archetype inception abbreviates to AI. And I had that thought like yesterday. I was like, son of a bitch, this is just AI. It's the abbreviation is AI. Yeah, he's on. He hasn't finished OC2 yet. That's why he can't beat up Ophelia. But somebody also brought in. Yes, I think we're gonna be doing a real anniversary servant this year, basically. Like proper. Because, you know, we're doing 3 summers, so we're not sneaking a secret summer in. Everything's on time, everything's spread out, you know, because we're in the post-game, basically. So that should be good to see. Like I said, take your final bets now who it is, what they're doing. I don't know, you know. A lot of people seem to think as Rayu. And that could be it. I hope for Kamazats. I think that'd be real cool. There's a lot of LB7 gang. Like, think of it this way. King Protea, Benny Enma, they're getting summers. They were Underworld Guardians in Lost But 7. Kamazats? But we'll find out tonight. We'll find out tonight. Yeah, we're having a wild, crazy year, I think, especially with these summers. Like, I literally typed in all caps when I saw the King Protea reveal. I was like, hell yeah, Giant Summer Daughter! Woo! That's probably the one I'm so far excited for, but you guys know how I am with 4-star. Literally fired up the stream firing tickets at 10-0. At 10-0? Like, you know how I am about 4 stars. Fucking crazy shit. So we'll check that out. Yeah, I don't really... Well, I'm glad. Honestly, I'm waiting for the fucking so fun fact, we don't technically need a Kazura drop summer alt. She has a swimsuit ascension. That ascension does get the summer mode trait, so she is technically also a like late summer unit this year, which is going to be fun. But it was very interesting to hear them talk about the Sakura series and the Sakura 5. And in the story, they mention what they're all for. They talk about how there is a... calling Violet for Annie. Well, that's what we're talking about. They do mention that there is an alter ego of Purity that Chaldea hasn't seen yet. And I'm like, Give me that shit. Give me that shit. One of Violet's components is Medusa, so she's like the Medusa like Sakura 5. Also, yeah, unfortunately, unless it's the really crazy one that's got something going on, or I saw somebody suggest that it's not a cat, it's a dog, and it's Saber Medusa. No Summer Medusa this year, it looks like. Please send help. I am die. Thank you forever. But I think we're wrapping our stuff up. So we'll pack it in. Hope you've enjoyed this special Oops All Omega episode. We'll be back to normal stuff going forth. Thanks for tuning in. Like I said, hopefully we'll run back. Lucky can work out all his stiffness and get reoriented. We'll be back Monday for Resident Evil Revelation. I'll double check with him tomorrow, but I think you know, we're going to try maybe on Steam and try remote play. We'll see about it. We'll see. Tuesday, we should be back to Fail Betrayal, and I'm excited to announce, if you're a Fail Betrayal follower, Dallas literally just DM'd me today, because there's some time with some other stuff of, like, I think they're doing, like, a Hobbit secret lair or something, but he's like, hey, do you want to do the proper Lord of the Rings next week? And I'm like, sure. We got a couple things in the can. We got a couple stuff in the keister, but we can fire it up. We did say... I think sometime early last month, we would do a full LOTR episode later, and we haven't got to that, so, because we had to skip last week. We'll be catching up on Fail Betrayal stuff, and then Wednesday we'll be back in. I've been to Northhorn, actually, in the Occult Crescent. It's a crazy time. I may have already gotten some Occult Soul Crystals that are drops already, so that's cool. But yeah, we'll be back to our 14 streaming and stuff. And everybody take care of yourselves out there. Like I said, I haven't been feeling 100% today. I don't know what's going on with, like bothering my stomach. But also just, like, there's some shit in the air and it's hot and it fucks with my sinuses, like, a lot. I need to stock up on my preferred style of allergen medicine and hope that helps my poor sinuses. If they invent the robo-sinus, you guys are fucked. I'll be unstoppable. That would be my one cybernetic implant that would make me invincible, is a robo-sinus. Can't stop my shit. But, yeah, nasty cough going around. Yeah, I was sick earlier, as you know, and that gave me a little bit of lung irritation, which I don't know if I fully recovered from. My lungs took a whacking a couple years ago, and I say, I should probably test for antibodies sometime, but I'm pretty sure I had COVID. My lungs have never been quite right after that. I was just talking to Lucky in an aside that I'm like, I need to actually work out a plan. I need to work on my cardio. I need to build up my lung and heart stamina again, because I did some walking and stuff outside over the winter. Like, I was pretty regular about taking, like, walks around the neighborhood and stuff and trail walking and just getting out there. Unfortunately, chat, it's a gajillion fucking degrees right now. Like, right now, chat, it's almost 11 o'clock at night. It's fucking 75 degrees or 74 degrees outside and cloudy right now, okay? It's overcast. It is night. It's still in the mid-70s. So, like, it's tough out there. It's like 80 degrees in the, like, late afternoon, early evening when I would normally walk. So, like, yeah. I need to work on some in-house cardio a little bit. So, everybody, take care of yourselves out there. Make sure you're eating your vitamins, you're drinking water. Do try and get some exercise. Get up, walk around. Don't spend all day on FGO, even if FGO is super cool. Like I said, next week we should hopefully be back for some amount of Ordeal Call recap. God, no, yeah. Thankfully I have air conditioning, so it usually isn't that hot. The aircon temperature in here is about 77. So yeah, don't have that problem, Genghis. But yeah, we should be back to Ordeal Call recaps. Like I said, we're going to check out the FGO streaming and streaming. Ooh, yeah, it's probably... I don't know what the humidity's like outside, but it's probably bad. Anyway. Take care of yourself. Be cool. And check out some other stuff. Like I said, if you ever need a quick refresher on dates of like when stuff is happening and when stuff is cut off, I did post that short on Ordeal Call 3 that is out. That happened Friday. I did that as a little bit of insurance because I know we weren't gonna post right away. So check that out. Yeah, no. Watch BB Wanted if you haven't already. And I think it's everything I got. We're over an hour and a half. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I think we'll let it go. All right, anyway. That will be it for the Stram. This has been your Oops All Omega episode. They happen like once, maybe twice a year. We're going to get on it here. Yeah, let's hope for cool quality of life. Nobody had any suggestions, I think, but, you know, we'll run it back. Thanks for tuning in so far. Pre-game news, summer. We'll have all that and more. And actually, we're recording... One last thing. One more thing, chat. Ooh, okay. So, next episode should be recorded on the 7th of August. So, hopefully, we will have full information on the summer event, or at least the full banners, if not the servants dropped yet. Also, do join our Discord, not just to hang out for, like, anniversary news, but also we do movie nights every Saturday. We had a perfectly cromulent movie night with Pat Labor, the movie. Next week, we'll be watching Pat Labor 2. Which is the one everybody's super hyped for, so I'm very interested in seeing how that pans out. All right, I think it's everything from me. I'll hit you guys up next time, hopefully with a full lucky crew. All right, that's all I got, gang. Good night, everybody. I'm going to end the stream now. Bye-bye.